Welcome back to another in-depth review video. Today we're diving into Namecheap's hosting services, a brand already well known in the domain world. But does their hosting service live up to the reputation they've built with domains? In this review, you'll get a complete, honest breakdown based on real user experience. Let's get started. Namecheap is one of the world's leading domain registrars, founded in 2000. With over 11 million users and more than 10 million domains under management, they've established a solid reputation in the domain business. But they didn't stop there. Namecheap also offers hosting services including shared hosting, VPS, dedicated servers, and even managed WordPress. Their mission is to provide quality services at affordable prices, targeting individuals and small businesses looking for simple yet effective website hosting solutions. But is that promise fulfilled? Let's find out. Speed is one of the most crucial factors in choosing a hosting provider. Namecheap performs quite well in this department. During testing, the largest contentful paint, LCP, the time it takes for the largest visible element to load, was around 1.1 seconds, which is excellent compared to Google's recommended 2.5-second threshold. The total page load time was about 1.3 seconds, indicating that Namecheap's servers are relatively stable and adequately optimized for small to medium websites like blogs, portfolios, or landing pages. However, if you're running a resource-heavy e-commerce site or a media-rich platform, you might want to consider more premium hosting solutions. Uptime refers to how consistently your website stays online. Any downtime can affect user experience, SEO, and potentially revenue. Namecheap promises 99.9% uptime, but during a 3-month monitoring period, I recorded an actual uptime of 99.87%, which equates to roughly 1 hour of downtime per month. While not disastrous, this does fall short of their stated commitment. For personal or small-scale websites, it's acceptable, but for business-critical sites, even 15 minutes of downtime can be too much. Load handling, however, was one of the more disappointing aspects. Using a stress testing tool, I simulated 50 virtual users accessing the site simultaneously. The result? The server couldn't handle it. Over 3,000 HTTP errors were logged, and the response time graph became highly erratic. Even when scaled down to 25 concurrent users, there were still 51 HTTP errors. This clearly shows that Namecheap's shared hosting isn't built for high-traffic websites or sudden traffic spikes. Of course, you can upgrade to VPS or dedicated plans, but in terms of shared hosting, scalability is a concern. Instead of the familiar cPanel, Namecheap uses its own custom dashboard called Namecheap Dashboard. Visually, it's clean, simple, and beginner-friendly, ideal for basic domain and hosting management. However, advanced users might find it lacking. Features like file system editing, cron job setup, or detailed SSL configuration are harder to access. The interface lacks the robust tools and customization that cPanel typically offers. On the plus side, Namecheap includes a drag-and-drop website builder for non-coders. It's perfect for beginners and comes with attractive, responsive templates. Still, for deep customization, you'll eventually need to learn WordPress or some HTML/CSS. Namecheap offers customer support via 24/7 live chat, ticket system, and a fairly comprehensive knowledge base. Most of the time, support agents responded in under 2 minutes, fast and polite. However, most responses felt copy-pasted from guides, lacking personalized solutions. When I asked complex technical questions, responses were often vague or redirected to another department. On a positive note, their support value is rated at around 24.40, which is reasonable compared to the market average. For general users, the support quality is sufficient. One of Namecheap's standout features is their free domain for the first year when you purchase higher-tier hosting plans. This is especially helpful for beginners and not a common offer among all providers. Moreover, even their cheapest plan allows hosting up to 3 websites, while many competitors limit you to just 1. That's a significant cost saver if you're experimenting with multiple projects. Additionally, they offer unlimited bandwidth, though, as always, there are hidden limits like inodes, RAM, and CPU usage, depending on your plan. Namecheap's shared plans offer 20 gig up to 50 gig up out of SSD storage, but your real limit comes down to inodes. On the lowest tier plan, you're allowed up to 300,000 inodes, with each file and directory counting as one inode. This is enough for text-based content, but if you're storing lots of images, videos, or emails, you could hit the limit quickly. On the bright side, using SSD storage boosts data access speeds significantly, contributing to their fast page load times. One of Namecheap's biggest draws is its affordable pricing. You can get started for just $1.58 a month on a yearly subscription for shared hosting. That's extremely cheap for what you get. However, be cautious of renewal prices, which typically double after the first term. This is a common trick among hosting companies, not unique to Namecheap. You can also choose server locations such as the US or UK, cheaper, or Singapore, more expensive. The ability to select your data center is a plus if you're targeting a specific region. After a thorough analysis, I can confidently say that Namecheap is a solid choice for beginners, especially those looking for an affordable, easy-to-use hosting provider that comes with everything needed to get started online. You should use Namecheap if you're building your first website, if you're on a tight budget, if you don't expect heavy traffic, or if you want domain and hosting in one place for easier management. However, avoid using Namecheap for high-traffic websites or projects that require top-tier uptime and performance. In such cases, you may want to consider VPS or premium hosts like SiteGround, A2 Hosting, or Cloudways. Thanks for sticking with me until the end. If you found this review helpful, please like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more honest, detailed reviews of digital tools and services. Feel free to drop a comment below if you have any questions or want to share your own experience with Namecheap. I'll be happy to respond. I wish you the best in choosing the right hosting provider and building a successful website.